and trying to get over this, but you're going to have to let enemies and situations around you go. You're going to have to make time for God and realize whenever you're going to do good, evil will be present. When you're going to do truth, you're going to be attacked. I'm telling you many things that's happened to me. I've been with people, and people's asked me to go places with them, and before you know it, somebody's calling you a cult leader. Before you know it, someone's destroying you and trying. But I'm telling you now, my flesh, boy, I was rattling inside with anger. My flesh, just like Paul said, it wanted to say some things. Boy, it wanted to put them in their place. But my inward man, thank God, controlled. My inward man overcame and said, zip that lip, son. Zip that lip. There ain't nothing you're going to say going to help. It ain't going to help. It's just going to make it worse. Zip it. Because when you're going to try to do good, I assure you evil's going to be present. We got one choice, people. Serve God or not. We got one choice. That's it. We either serve Him, or the second choice is you don't. There ain't no maybes. There ain't no part serving Him. There ain't no one day doing it and one day out. We're either in or we're out. There's no division of God. There's one God, and there's one Holy Ghost, and there's one Christ. There's a Trinity, and we either serve Him or we don't. But when we serve Him, I'll assure you, there are going to be things that will come against you. Just like we said, we've heard people say many times, boy, I don't want to sing another song. Boy, that next day I'm going to fight Satan right and left. You're exactly right. If you're going to do good, evil's coming. I assure you it's coming. It's going to come against you. Now, if you want to pay attention to it and let it pull you down, your flesh is going to try to pull you is what it is. Your flesh is what's guiding it. It's what's seeing things. And people will judge by what they see, just like John said. People will pick up and judge things, and we as a church have been judged for certain things because they can't see that certain things are. They're seeing things with their eyes, and they're picking up the wrong things with their eyes when they don't know the true intent of the heart. They don't really know what goes on. Only God knows. And that's why your eyes will fool you. That's why they'll fool you in things that go on. And that's what Paul is forewarning right here. He's saying, my inward man, my spirit wants to obey God. It wants to follow Him. But my flesh and my outward man wants to not do it. It wants to have anger. It wants to attack that evil. It wants to come against it and put them in their place and say, you're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong. But all you're going to do is cause more chaos. All you're going to do is cause more problems. Be slow to speak, quick to hear. You got to learn to back off when evil starts coming and situations start arising. And that's what we're going to have to get in our mind and our heart right now. That we better recognize it's the inward inside of us, the spirit part of us, that we better start letting control and direct our life. Because if our flesh and the things that we're seeing and the enemies that's around us begin to direct us, what does it do? It puts doubt. It puts anger. It'll put all kinds of things. It'll begin to question, why would someone say this? Why would someone do this? Because you sent it for your flesh and eyes. If you don't pay no attention to it, how will you ever know? I've told Lisa multiple times, Facebook ain't nothing but a gossip channel. And it's to destroy people. People use it to destroy people. They'll put stuff on there, buddy, and they won't absolutely come out and say it, but it's there. It's obvious what they mean. It's obvious word for word what they mean. It's obvious what they're trying to do. It's obvious about the things that's going on. And it's clear as clear can be. And the Word, now anybody can fight against the Word like they did against Jesus all day long. But you can do nothing for the truth but the truth. Gossip is wrong. Period. Whether it be Facebook, whether it be typing an email, whether it be typing a letter, or whether it be talking, if you're putting someone down or talking about a bad situation, that is a clear definition of gossip. That is the clear definition of it. And as we said, it'll destroy people. But if you're going to do good, there's going to be evil present. Now, are you going to pay attention, as Paul is saying here, in the flesh, to the evil situations going on around you and let it pull you down to where you have no more heart to go? Or are you going to let your inward spirit person overtake and obey God, the laws and the commandments of God, and do the things of God and follow the good things of God? Or are you going to let it destroy you? Which one are you going to do? And he's forewarning. He's saying, hey, I had to battle the same thing, people. I had to battle it. I've been there. I know. I'm writing to you on what I know, Roman Church. I'm writing to you, Mending Heart Fellowship, and I'm telling you tonight that if you're allowing your enemies to pull you, it's your flesh. It's your outward being that's paying attention to this. It's your outward being that's allowing this stuff to pull you that you cannot enter the gates right now of praise and thanksgiving. You can't look to the millions of things that you need to be thankful for right now. You can't look to that, but you can look to the one or two evil things that's going on around you and let it pull you to the side. And the enemy is constantly, he knows that he can use that flesh against you. He knows every day he can use that against you. And that's where he attacks at. He attacks to get us to look to things. He attacks to get us to look at the numbers and say there's no hope. He attacks by that. But the inward man and the Spirit says, well, if God done the other part, He's going to do the rest of it. The Spirit says it's going to happen, but the flesh part says there's no possible way will this ever happen. There ain't a chance in the world this will ever happen. But Jesus and 12 men turned the world upside down. They did. Why? Because they took hold. They were willing to change. When you look at Matthew, Luke, John, blah, blah, the rest of them, wonderful men of God, what did they have to do in life? One of them was a tax collector. He had to get up from tax collecting and change his life. Some of them were fishermen. God said, I'm going to make you fishermen of men. They had to quit fishing and change. And that's what we've said from day one. If we're not experiencing the promises of God, if the powers of God are not being manifested in the church, in our lives, if we're not enjoying the fruits of the Spirit, guess whose fault it is? We got to change. And as we preached before, if you want different results, you got to change. As the chairman said, it is a moron to continue to do the same thing and expect different results. You will not get different results doing the same old thing over and over and over. You're going to get the same results every time. And church has become a routine for the biggest part, for about 95% of the time across this nation. More than that, probably. It's become a routine. And occasionally the Spirit of God will come by with some mercy and change things. But if we will change and start entering these gates without letting our flesh be pulled away with the evil around it, where we're trying to do good, and we enter in with our inward man, our spirit, praising God with our full heart, with our full mind, and put those things behind us and start coming forward and realize He's our rock, He's our joy, and we start lifting Him up, what will we see happen? Or we can keep sitting here waiting on God to move for us. You've got to press, people. David clearly said, I got to encourage myself.
Yes, that's right.
I got to encourage myself, Lord. And that's what we've said over these 40 days. And now we're downhill less than 20. It's time that we press and begin to encourage ourselves. We start coming in the doors, quit worrying about the evil that's present, quit worrying about the things that's going on and what the enemy's doing, and letting our flesh pull us down over situations. Yeah, I'm tired. Traveled long ways. Got up early this morning, worked, traveled a long way. Got to get up in the morning, travel a long ways again. Oh, I can get my mind on that all day long and let my flesh pull me down, going, boy, you're going to have to get up early in the morning. Or I can let my inward man lift God up and become what He wants me to become.
Amen.
I can become and uplift him with a pure heart and a pure mind. Or I can let my flesh hold me in my seat going, boy, I'm just so